Welcome! In this video, we're going to do a solo playthrough of the revised edition of the Lord of the Rings card game. So down at the table for our setup, we are going to do a campaign, which is something new that came with the revised edition. And these are cards you can download or get copies of on the FFG website. But basically, it makes a campaign for these 3 scenarios coming in the core set. So we're starting with the passage through Mirkwood. Mirkwood Pass Part 1. We are playing in campaign mode. For setup, we're going to put Mendor into play. So this is a boon card. It's going to be an ally we can have. So he's got stats of 1 all the way down for his willpower, attack, and defense, and a health of 3. He's got the ranged ability. The first player will take control of this, but I'm doing just 1 deck in this, so just 1 player. So response after a quest card is defeated, ready Mendor, then each player draws a card. If he leaves play, remove him from the game. Also, with this, if he leaves play, the players lose the game. So this is one of the 3 ways we can lose. Another way will be if this threat meter gets up to 50, or if all 3 of our heroes are defeated in the game. So he's coming into play, and that's our campaign card there. As for the hero deck construction, I'm using the pre-con deck that's in the book, so leadership and spirit. So no changes there, and since I am playing solo and with a pre-con deck, I'm going to be playing this on easy mode. So what that means is we're going to go through the cards making up our encounter deck and take out all the ones with the golden border on it. And start of the game, each of our heroes is going to start with 1 resource. And then for our quest, we have all of our passage through Mirkwood cards. So we've got 1A, 2A, and then 2 3A cards. So for setup, searching encounter deck for 1 copy of the Forest Spider and 1 copy of the Old Forest Road. Add them to the staging area, then shuffle the encounter deck. So I've got the Old Forest Road here. So you can see its threat value up there. Quest tokens we need on it, and a response after you travel to the Old Forest Road. First player may choose and ready 1 character they control. And we have the Forest Spider here. 2 threats, 2 attack, 1 defense, and 4 health. After Forest Spider engages a player, it gets +1 attack until the end of the round. And for creating our deck, we're going to take these 3 stacks of cards and shuffle all those together to make our encounter cards. So finishing our setup, got our encounter deck, getting that a shuffle. We'll flip this over so we have a threshold of 8 we need to get on this in order to go past. So on this one, you are traveling through Mirkwood Forest, carrying an urgent message from King Thranduil to the Lady Galandrin of Lorien. As you move along the dark trail, the spiders gather around you. And the nastiest things they saw were the cobwebs. Dark, dense cobwebs with threads extraordinarily thick, often stretched from tree to tree or tangled in the lower branches on either side of them. There were none stretched across the path, but whether because some magic kept it clear or for what other reason they could not guess. That's from The Hobbit. And then for our hero deck, give this a quick shuffle. Then we get to draw 6 cards. And Mulligan works a little bit different in this one. If you don't like the 6 cards, you shuffle all 6 back into the deck and then draw another 6, and you're stuck with those. So for our heroes, we have Aragorn. So threat value of 12, 8, and 9. So with all that, we're starting with 29 on that. Willpower of 2, attack of 3, defense of 5, defense of 2, 5 health. Sentinel, response after he commits to a quest, spend a resource from his resource pool to ready him. And he's from the leadership trait. Also in leadership, we have Theodred, stats of 1, 2, and 1, and 4 health. After he commits to a quest, choose a hero committed to that quest, add a resource to that hero's resource pool. And then with Spirit, we have Eowyn with 4, 1, and 1, and a health of 3. It's an action, discard a card from your hand and give her +1 willpower until the end of the phase. This effect may be triggered by each player once each round. So 6 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we've got Gandalf, Test of Will, Steward of Gondor, Grim Resolve, Guard of the Citadel, and Son of Arnor. So we've got some allies, so I think I'm going to keep what I've got here. So our phases of the turn. For the round overview, we've got our resource phase. We're going to gain a resource. Each hero is going to get 1. Then we draw 1 card. Planning phase, basically we get the play cards out on the board. Then quest phase, we'll commit characters to the quest. Staging is get an encounter card, 1 per player. Then quest resolution, we'll see how we compare with the threat on the board. Travel phase, we can move a location over. Then encounter phase, we can choose to engage enemies up top, and then they're going to come after us either way, depending on their threat value versus the threat we have. Combat phase, enemies are going to get shadow cards. We're going to resolve enemy attacks, and then we get to resolve player attacks. And then refresh phase, ready, increase threat, and pass first player. So we'll go ahead and jump into all that. So gaining resources, everyone gets 1. And this is because we're playing in easy mode. Draw a card into a sneak attack. All right, so what we're going to do is, since this is a leadership, we need to spend from these 2 cards. We're going to spend 2 resources from there. So that's his cost to bring him into play. And he's just a warrior with 1 willpower, 1 attack, and no defense, and 2 health. So that was our planning phase. We're going to start a quest phase, and an action window is going to come up. We're going to have Aragorn spend a resource, sneak attack. It's an action, put an ally card into play from your hand at the end of the phase. If that ally is still in play, return it to your hand. And we're going to bring in Gandalf. So at the end of the round, discarding from play, but at the end of the phase, he's going to come back to our hand. As a response, after he enters play, we can choose to either draw 3 cards, deal 4 damage to 1 enemy in play, or reduce our threat by 5. We're going to go ahead and deal 4 damage when he comes into play. And that's dealing, so it does not count his defense there. Then we're going to commit characters to the quest. We're going to commit him and her. Actually, we're going to commit all of these. So what happens here is after he commits to a quest, choose a hero committed to that quest, add a resource to that hero's resource pool. Also for him, after he commits to a quest, we could spend a resource from his resource pool to ready him. So committed to the quest, spend a resource to ready, commit this one, give him a resource back. So in this quest, we're going to have a total of 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then for staging, draw an encounter card. So we got a 4 spider back. So that is going to have our threat value at 3 versus our 11, which means 8 is breaking through. So we can put 8 tokens on this, and it's automatically going to pass. So we'll get rid of that. Finding a fork in the road. So move through Mirkwood, hounded by spiders. The forest path forks before you. Sure what lies ahead, but spurred at the urgency of your message, you choose a path and proceed. Forced, when you defeat this stage, proceed to one of the 2 A chosen path stages at random. So that is going to end this phase, which means this ally comes back to her hand. Then we go into the travel phase, which means if we don't have a location here, we can move one over. We will. So after you travel to Old Forest Road, the first player may choose and ready 1 character they control. Well, we know we've got a fight coming. So we will ready Theodred. Then we'll go into the encounter phase. We can optionally engage this, but it's going to come down to us anyway, because its number is equal to or less than our threat value of 29. So after he engages a player, it gets +1 attack until the end of the round. So he's attacking for 3 at the moment. And we're going to give him a shadow card and figure out our defense. He's attacking for 3. Got a defense of 0, 1, 1, and 2. We're going to choose him to defend. Reveal the shadow card. There's nothing here, so if it had this line here and a shadow effect, we'd do whatever that had, but since it doesn't have anything, it just gets discarded. It's hitting for 3. Our defense blocks 1, so he's taking 2 damage. Then we can declare attacker. So attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the 5 minus the 1 is 4 damage. So we've taken care of another spider. So we have resolved the combat phase. Now the refresh phase, we're going to ready our characters, increase our threat by 1, and if we're playing multiplayer, pass first player. So that was one full round, which went pretty good for us, thanks to a nice sneak attack. So next turn, gain some resources, draw a card into another sneak attack. Nice. So our planning phase, we're going to spend 2 resources. Steward of Gondor, attached to a hero. Attached hero gains the Gondor trait. As an action, exhaust Steward of Gondor to add 2 resources to attached hero's resource pool. So we will exhaust that to give him 2 resources back. Then we're going to commit everyone here to the quest. Doing this to ready, and his ability will put 1 back. Staging, get an encounter card, which is just going to be a 1. When revealed, each player must choose 1 character currently committed to a quest and remove that character from the quest. All right, we'll remove him from the quest. So we've got 4, 5, 6 against the 1. So we're adding 3 to here. And the leftover will go on that one, so this goes away. And then with that going away, we choose one of those. And I'll leave it to the fate of a die. So 1 to 3, 4 to 6. So we are using that one. So the trail winds into one of the darkest, most tangled parts of the forest. You sense that a foul, dark presence is hunting you, and you move quickly in an attempt to avoid its evil. Now we need 10 on this one, Bjorn's Path. Players cannot defeat the stage while Mongolian Spawn is in play. If players defeat the stage, you have won the game. And I don't think that's coming into play. So we have completed the quest phase, travel phase, we're not doing anything. Encounter phase, this guy's definitely coming down. And then combat phase, gets a card. It's going to be attacking for 1. I'm going to defend with Mendor. And see what happens there. Nothing. So 1 damage coming in. We have a defensive 1. And then we can attack for 1, 2, 3, 4 to defeat. And ready. Forgot to increase threat last time, so that went up to 30 last round, and now we're up to 31. So next turn, get our resources, draw a card, Unexpected Courage. Attached to a hero as an action, exhaust it to ready attached hero. So we're going to take this action to give us 2 resources. Use one of these new 3s. Then start of the quest phase, we're going to take an action. Using this for a sneak attack to bring in Gandalf, and we're going to have him, we'll draw 3 cards with him. Found another Gandalf, Steward of Gondor, and a stone. Of course, these are unique. Then committing to the quest, all these are going to do their thing. So he's going to spend 1 to ready, and with him, he gives that back. So once again, we've got 4, 8, 10, 11 committed to this. Get our encounter card. So we are putting 9 up top. And let's see, discard a card from her hand to give her +1 till end of phase. Effect may be triggered by each player once each round. So we're going to discard a card to give us another +1. So now we're 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, -2, which will put 10 on this. And this will be the quickest game I believe I've ever seen. But we have now won the game. And of course, all to 2 sneak attacks. Very pleased with how that works. Gandalf and just the abilities of how everyone can quest there and benefit from each other. So I guess with the win credit, we'll have to give that to FFG for making us a good deck. So into the campaign. We'll take this and flip this card over. Resolution. Each player earns 1 copy of the Mendor Support Boon card. Add the earned cards to the campaign pool. So that card is an event we'll add. Only 1 copy can be played each round as an action. Mendor gets +2 to his willpower, attack, and defense until the end of the round. And let's see. Stage 3B was Bjorn's Path, which it was. Add the Ungoliant Swarm Burden card to the campaign pool. So here's what we're adding to the campaign pool. Someone with 33 threat. Up here, 3 threats, 2 attack, 2 defense, 5 health. Forced after he engages a player, that player must choose and exhausts 2 characters they control. So that is just nasty. Flavor text. The force is dangerous, but that was beyond what one might expect to find. Mendor seemed shaken. Fear something is not right in the land. I shall continue to travel with you. Well, that's nice of him. So that is it for part 1 of our campaign. Things went fairly easy for us, but I have a feeling that will definitely change depending on the card draw we get. So we got lucky with that, I believe. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.